Hi, I'm Joan Cartan Hansen. Welcome to this D4K web-only program, and also welcome to the Discovery Center of Idaho and the Bodies Revealed exhibit. And joining me to answer questions about the nervous system is Dr. Mary River, a neurologist at St. Alphonsus Hospital here in Boise. Thank you for joining us.
You're very welcome.
Okay, let's go to your questions.
Hi, my name is Kendall. I go to Valley View Elementary School, and my question is, what are the sections in the brain?
There's a right side and a left side in the brain, Kendall, and there are frontal lobes, and there are parietal lobes, temporal lobes, and occipital lobes, and each has a function. The frontal lobe function is initiation of activity and blocking activity that one shouldn't do. The temporal lobes are where hearing is interpreted and where some of speech comes from on the left side of the brain for most people. The parietal lobes are more involved with localization, where things are, artistic tendencies on the right side of the brain for most people. And the occipital lobes, which are very far away from where the eyeballs are, but the occipital lobes are where vision is interpreted.
Josie would like to know, how long does a nerve take to send a message to your brain?
Well, Josie, there are slow nerves and there are fast nerves, and the variance is anywhere between 2 miles an hour, like walking, slow walking, versus 200 miles an hour, like a really, really fast car.
My name is Kendall, and I go to Answer Charter School, and my question is, how does the nerve system travel so fast? Is it electricity?
It is a kind of electricity, Kendall. The nerves themselves are like electrical cords. There's a axon in the center, which is like the wire, and then there's a coating around the wire that is like the plastic on an electrical cord. And some nerves are bigger and thicker. They have more insulation, and they can actually conduct the message or the electricity a lot faster than the smaller, skinnier nerves. So yes, it's a lot like electricity.
My name is Grace. I go to West Middle School, and I have a question on how many nerves are there in the human nervous system?
Well, Grace, I think that the thought is that there are about 7 trillion, which would be 7,000 billion. It's a lot.
Laura would like to know, how does your brain hold so much knowledge?
Well, if you think about it, the brain is so large. It has a lot of storage space in it, and when you're born, there's almost nothing there. So you get to start laying down memories and forming memories. And then as you get older, it does get a little bit harder to learn new material. But you are born with an awful lot of storage space.
Hi, my name is Sophie, and I go to Answer Charter School, and my question is, what are the nerves made out of?
Well, Sophie, nerves are made of axons, which are like the wire that's in an electrical cord. There's an axon or a wire, and that transmits the electricity. And then that wire is covered with a coating called a myelin sheath, which protects it, but also keeps the electricity just traveling along that wire or axon as opposed to leaking out. And so they're very, very similar to electrical cords.
My name is Victor, and I go to Grace Jordan Elementary School. I want to know, what do the two sides of the brain do?
Well, Victor, most people, the left side of the brain is where your speech center is. So it's it's for speaking and for understanding. And also in most people, the right side of the brain is where things are. So if it doesn't work, you get lost.
Josue would like to know, can nerves affect your heart?
They can. There are nerves that slow down the heart, and there are nerves that speed up the heart. And if you're anxious, then your heart will speed up because that set of nerves will take dominance.
Hi, my name is Raven. I go to Grace Jordan Elementary School. I just want to know, what happens to your spinal cord when you eat and drink?
Well, when you eat and drink, then you've got food and you've got liquid in your stomach, and then the stomach sends a signal to the head or to the brain, and then the brain sends signals down and reroutes blood supply. So you send blood to your stomach in order to smoosh up the food and to digest it, and you shunt blood away from the muscles, which is why you would supposedly get a cramp if you went swimming after you ate. But it's to route the blood where it's supposed to go, so the nervous system is involved in that. And in babies, if you feed them and dilate their stomachs, then they empty the other end, and so the spinal cord and the brain are all involved in that.
Tyler would like to know, how does your brain control your body?
Probably there are a lot of different answers to that, but essentially how it would work, if you wanted to move your finger, you would think the thought, and then the thought would be transmitted down an axon or nerve to the spinal cord, and then in the spinal cord it would synapse or connect with a nerve that goes out to the muscle that then makes the muscle move. So it's several different nerves are involved, but the thought transmits to the electricity that then stimulates the muscle.
My name is Sammy. I go to Answer Charter School, and my question is, do my nerves create energy?
The nervous system doesn't create energy. There are little mitochondria in your cells that actually create energy. Some people are more energetic because of the way their brains are wired.
I'm sorry, Doctor, we've run out of time. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you joining us.
You're very welcome.
And thanks also to the folks at the Discovery Center of Idaho and the Bodies Revealed exhibit for hosting us. If you want to learn more about the nervous system, check out the nervous system area on the D4K website. You'll find facts, links, games, our nervous system broadcast show, and lots more. And every week, check out my blog for the latest science news for kids. Thanks for joining us for this D4K Web Only.